Let's get to Damon Fernandez in downtown Dallas with new reaction to what we heard. What did the people tell you, Damon?
You know, Cynthia, I just wrapped up a meeting with a group of local organizers and community activists. All of them told me they were stunned yet relieved as they watched that verdict come down late this afternoon. Just take a look at this video. It was an emotional afternoon for those activists from across Dallas as they learned the jury found Derek Chauvin guilty on all 3 charges. Now, these organizers led more than 100 days of protests, rallies, and demonstrations after the death of George Floyd last year, all while leading grassroots efforts calling for social justice and racial justice right here across Dallas-Fort Worth. They called today's verdict bittersweet.
Today, with this verdict, a guilty verdict, yeah, you got a guilty verdict in this case. But we got a whole culture of policing, literally abolishing policing as we know it in this country. A real conversation that has to be made going from this.
It's so exciting that somebody is finally held accountable for their actions, but it's bittersweet because we'll never get a George Floyd back.
And, you know, those organizers and activists, they were clapping hands, some of them still sitting stunned in silence as that played out late this afternoon. I'll tell you, they say that even though a guilty verdict was handed down in this case, they say locally here, work is still yet to be done, especially with 2 recent cases of police-involved killings making national news. They say they will continue hitting the streets. One other thing the organizers told me is that here, policing still needs to be addressed across Dallas. Many of them told me that about 30 organizers from across Dallas have requested a meeting with Dallas's new police chief, Garcia. They say they allegedly asked for a meeting before summer. That date has yet to come down, is what they told me, and they look forward to that happening pretty soon. We'll keep our eyes on this one in Dallas. I'm Damon Fernandez. Back to you, Chris and Cynthia.